I will start with a question, Wei, if you will, because you're a professor, like all good professors. I teach at HKU. We like to be challenged. We like to be challenged by our students. So I'm going to challenge you now.
Yeah.
The zero COVID policy.
Yeah.
There are a lot of people, the World Health Organization said this is untenable. There are a lot of people within Shanghai, where you are, who are said, this is crazy. This is stupid. How do you know that's the best policy?
Most Chinese support that policy.
How do you know that? How do you know most Chinese support that policy? How do you know that?
You have all kinds of surveys, and I can show you later on. No problem about this, because it's so factual. Let's look at you may say the case of Shanghai. Yes, Shanghai endured 2 months of inconvenience. Then it's over. So we knew early on, the model works because at least a dozen Chinese cities, from Wuhan to Shenzhen to Guangzhou to Hefei to Tianjin, they've all tried out and successfully. The point is Shanghai, for some reason, should have started much earlier because the COVID occurred roughly at the same time with Shenzhen. Shenzhen in early March began this lockdown. In 10 days, it's over. Shanghai, 2 weeks behind Shenzhen. Then it became already quite a bigger problem. We could have started much earlier. So this is a proven tactic and policy. It works. So we always say in the case of civilizational state, for such large country, you have on the first hand, political, strategic certainty. No doubt about it. The model has worked and will work, at least up to now. Of course, Chinese model is also keeping with the changing time. For instance, from today, we used to be 7 days plus 7 days. Now it's 7 days.
But excuse me, but I'm hearing a lot of people from Shanghai and other places saying there's a new theory going on called run shui, which means get out of China, run shui, they call it. They're saying they're sick of zero COVID.
No. No, if you look at all the indications, capital keeps on flowing and Chinese renminbi is appreciating. So don't worry about this. China have as Deng Xiaoping said, when before 25 years ago, at that time, the British media said, people are leaving Hong Kong, deserting Hong Kong. And Deng said, don't worry about this. So as our policies are good, more people will come, more capital will come. We are very open. If you want to migrate, actually, if you look at figures, both for students going abroad, for ex-immigration abroad, both going down, way down. So most people have confidence, even in Shanghai. You compare Shanghai with Hong Kong, for instance. Hong Kong has lost how many lives? Close to 10,000. Shanghai, 500. If you compare Shanghai with New York lost how many lives? 70,000.
At what price? At what price? People were starving. People were starving in Shanghai.
No, starving only minority for a few days, 1 or 2 days, then it's over. We know China has abundant supply. Don't worry about this.
Shanghai lockdown was a disaster.
No. This nonsense, That's a problem. I was watching mainstream Western media. You are so, as a civilizational state, we emphasize strategy and tactics.
So you think Shanghai lockdown was a success? You think it was a success?
It's a great success. Shanghai should have done better, but it's regrettable. But compared with the cost of New York and Hong Kong, it's much better.
So you think Shanghai lockdown? You think Shanghai lockdown was a success? Is that correct? They were killing people's dogs.
Per se.
They were killing dogs. People had no food to eat.
Less good than other models in Shanghai. Shenzhen model, Hefei model, Guangzhou model, Tianjin model. They've all done better. Shanghai should learn from them. But even with that, Shanghai model is much, much better than the New York model, Hong Kong model.
We're not talking about New York. We're not talking about Hong Kong. We're talking about Shanghai. You saying Shanghai was a success?
How many lives lost? No, 10,000. Hong Kong's population is 1/4 of Shanghai's. In the case of Shanghai, about 40,000 lives lost. Would Shanghai bear this? No
So you think
way.
Shanghai was a success? The lockdown was
Shanghai
a
is not
success.
very successful. They showed you real trouble, which is regrettable. But most people appreciate that. We love that. Why I call China a super modern state? Because in the 21st century, you have the balance between individual freedom and responsibility. Otherwise, you cannot cope with this kind of unexpected disaster.
So freedom means nothing. It's all about
No,
zero
this
COVID.
is freedom. Freedom and responsibility should be balanced. Liberalism cannot go too far. Extreme liberalism will bear with it huge costs. 1 million lives lost in the United States, 2 million lives in Europe. No, that model cannot work. I also tell you the basic fact, if you check Chinese social media, I can tell you briefly, the American model began to lose its luster, say, mainly in the year 2020. Yeah, because of COVID, and people thought, wow, this is a disastrous model.
Okay.
So this is the problem. So for the young generation, no. I remember in December last year, I was asked by Western reporters, what would you think of this democracy summit to be held in by Biden? I said it will be a huge source of fun for Chinese young generation. People think, I'm sorry, you may dislike Donald Trump said, it's like a joke. No. We're being too harsh on the United States. But to be all fairness, you have to improve yourself. We have our share of problem. But on the China model, it has worked very well. Yeah.
In the US now, people are going out to baseball games now. They're going back to Broadway. They're going out to dinner. They're going to theaters. You're still tracking every case in Shanghai, in Beijing, in cities. You get 200 cases and you lock down the city. Is that how long can you have to have this?
China is a huge country. It's the size of about 100.
So why are you still treating COVID like it's Ebola? It doesn't kill you.
No. It's totally different. You have to look at the science, You are from the generation of the, inspired by enlightenment. Now China has done this better. Believing science, believing reasoning, No one knows exactly what will be sequelae after this. Many possible problems. Now new variants are coming. Look at the figure from Beijing. At the worst time of Beijing over the past few days, Beijing locked less than 1% of the population, less than 200,000. Same with Shanghai, with this dynamic clear.
At what price? At what price?
No, this price is reasonable. It's affordable. Otherwise, the whole country is lost. Yeah. In the case of China, if we copy the American model, it will be 4.5 million lives lost. The Chinese government will lose the mandate of heaven.
So you're saying, what? Is that because the healthcare system cannot cope with COVID, or is it because the vaccines don't work?
Because in the United States, in your country, in the Western countries, you only mainly rely on what I call the medical solution, vaccination and hospitalization, etc.
Isn't that the solution to COVID? Isn't that the solution to COVID?
No, we not only have this medical solution, we also have what we call societal protection, which you don't have that much. We have the neighborhood groups, we have the Chinese-style NGOs, we have the party institutions. So with this, you will see the Chinese Communist Party is not only a political institution, it's also a great social institution with grassroots party members volunteer to work without any pay and then for the benefit of the whole country. You don't have that. So you lose a lot of lives. It's a pity, regrettable. Your human rights is deeply in trouble, Don't you agree?
So you think that Shanghai was a success? Is that correct?
If you look at Shanghai, over the past close to 3 years, 2 years and 7 months, Shanghai is only in lockdown inconvenience for 2 months. Only.
2 months. People were locked in their apartments for 2 months.
2 months.
They couldn't get food.
But
they could not get
food. You protected
food.
your neighborhood, your family.
They could not get
other
food.
cities in Shanghai, other peoples in China. It's a great contribution,
People could not get food for 2 months. They were killing people.
This is nonsense. No. As a famous journalist, you cannot make this kind of huge mistake.
I watch
For the
social
case of
media in China.
Shanghai,
I talk to friends
without
in
support
Shanghai.
of tens of millions of ordinary Shanghai residents, how can we win this victory?
So you think they were
No.
happy? Shanghai people
That's
were
a
happy.
problem.
You think
Today we
Shanghai,
are very happy. We are very proud.
Shanghai people were
We
happy.
made the sacrifices, but we made our contribution to Shanghai, to
Okay.
China. This is very important.
Okay. All right.